What is going on, guys? Noon here at the Maplestory, bringing you guys a look into the new Maplestory update or expansion, I should say. Now, if you guys are familiar with the past update that Maplestory has just dropped, it brought the reboot server to the game, and it's quite game changing, and it makes me really excited to start playing the game once again. Now, as you can see here, I do have my character. I am currently playing a Phantom. Phantom is one class I did get behind, and I did get very interested in back in the day when I did play quite a bit, and having played the reboot server, I gotta say I'm having a lot of fun with it. As you can see, I'm level 148, and I was able to obtain that within 2 to 3 days of very casual play. Now, I know you may see some other players hit much higher levels much faster, but having not played the game for a little while, it was some pretty fast progression, and it was a really nice, steady rate of leveling. Now, what does Reboot do that the other servers do not? Now, what Reboot does is it disables all trading across all their players, makes monsters harder to kill, and increases the drop rates as well as experience rates for all monsters in every map, which is really nice. It really brings the classic and the hardcore old feel of Maplestory back into these new servers, along with all current and available classes. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of run around a little bit, explain how the server works, and then we're going to go ahead and jump in and check out the new class as well. So, we're going to go ahead and kill some enemies, kind of show you how things work. And as you can see here, we're not instantly killing monsters, and you can see that monsters do take a little bit more to kill than they would in a normal server. Now, normally you can one-shot things and you can clear maps out pretty darn quickly, and don't get me wrong, you could still do that in this game. It just takes a little bit more gearing and a little bit more getting your character well-rounded and ready. Now, I've done a pretty good job of gearing my character fairly decently, but what I like about this server is it really brings a new challenge to Maplestory. Now, in the regular servers, you can trade with other players and you can acquire gear that you really need and really get a character funded and leveled geared pretty well. So increasing your damage range and other things like that pretty quickly if you have the money for it. Now, what I like about this is the lack of or the non-existent player trading. So if you want to gear your character, you have to do it all yourself through finding drops or killing bosses, which is really fun. It really brings a kind of a goal to the game. Instead of just being able to kill bosses efficiently, there's a lot more to do in the game. You really have to get your character going and really build it up to how you want it, and really invest a lot of time into a character that you choose and feel is worthy, which is what I've done. So I'll go over my gear a little bit. I'm gonna go ahead and kill some more enemies, and as you can see, my damage is okay. It's halfway decent. It's not bad. It does the job. It gets what I need to done. And as you can see, I'm leveling here in the Herb Town, which is it's an okay leveling spot. I could probably go to MP3 at this point, but there was no people here. I kind of got a free map, which was really nice. And I just kind of want to go through this map and be able to talk to you guys and talk a little bit about the server. So we can go ahead and we can use our other skills as well. Let's go ahead and check these out. As you can see, my damage is halfway decent. It's not too bad. We'll go over my gear in a second. And then right after this, we'll go ahead and we'll jump on to the new class, the Kinetic, and kind of show you guys how that works. And it's a pretty cool class that I'm kind of interested in, and we'll take a first look into that class as well. But as you can see, kind of going across the map, got some decent map coverage. I can kind of go back and forth on this map, and once again, my damage, not terrible. I mean, it's not great, but it definitely takes a little bit more time investment into your characters to get them geared. So before we jump into the new class and kind of do a first look into the new class as well, let's go ahead and show off our character stats. So let's go ahead and go over here, and as you see, I do not have too much because it does take quite a bit more to obtain a full set of gear for your character in this one. So I was able to kill Zakum, which was really nice. This was a nice boost to my character damage. I was able to get some nice additional stats. I got an okay potential on it. I had to re-roll it a few times to get luck, which was okay, which was pretty viable for my Phantom. Next we have this. I got this from killing some other bosses and other things like that. Now, I haven't played the game for quite a while, and if you guys have not played the game in quite a while and you're looking to get back into it, it's extremely easy, extremely player friendly, and I know some people have seen this and they see the new gearing system and all these other gears you can acquire is very overwhelming. It's really not. It's not that bad, and it's extremely nice and easy easy to get into, and it really does ease you back into the game, which is great. So we got some other gear. I've gone ahead and I've got to level these up. I got some stars on them, which kind of enhances how what they do and their damage and stat output and other things like that. So as you can see, I got a decent amount of items. I got a few different things kind of over here. Oh, we got another player over there kind of teleporting around, but overall not too bad. And as far as things go, my damage range is, let's go ahead and check that out. It is 22,000 to 25,000, which is alright. It could definitely be way higher. It could be much higher than what it is now. But like I said, I really enjoy the more of a goal to your character in this server, and really finding the need to gear your character and find the gear you do need. And it's a lot more time investment and hard work into making one of your characters really great. But enough of that, let's go ahead. I'm going to go ahead and cut the video for you guys and basically get a new character started, which is the new class, and we'll go ahead and see how that looks. Alright guys, so I went ahead and I created one of the new classes in the reboot server. And the new class is the Kinesis. It's a very interesting mage class. It's a new one that just hit the game just in the past few days, which is pretty cool. And like I said, it is another mage class that is the story of the hero or the character is a young boy that has psychic abilities that were enhanced by the white mage, and now he's kind of running around his city and finds a portal to the Maple world and so on. So we're gonna go ahead and kind of go through the starting area to kind of give you guys a feel and show you how it works and what it looks like, as well as going off and going over some of his combat to kind of show off how the class plays and how it looks and feels. So let's go ahead and continue over here. We're just doing some quests. We're doing the very early required tutorial quest through the main city area. And as you can see here, we got some pretty cool environments we're kind of walking around. I kind of like the city. I kind of like how it's like a 2.5D approach to kind of do with this class, which is kind of interesting. So let's go ahead and keep continuing on, and hopefully we'll get to fight some stuff soon. Let's go ahead. We're going to go ahead and go over here, and I think we'll be able to fight some stuff inside this classroom. There we go. Alright, so now we can kind of show you guys how this class works. Now, like I said, it is a mage type class, and he does get to use his telekinetic abilities, which is really cool. I thought it was pretty interesting. Let's go ahead and rack up some points. Let's go ahead and see if we could drop these these big weights on the enemies. No, it doesn't seem like it's working. Alright, but he does have a kind of an interesting MP usage or like mana bar. So instead of actual mana, he does acquire PP, which is the power of the character, and the more you use one skill, the more power you will obtain, and then you can then use your power to use other skills. So you use basic skills to build it up, and then other skills to kind of spend it. So it's kind of cool. It's a very interesting concept. Not one concept I have seen really used on any other classes in Maplestory, which is kind of nice. It's cool. It's a different approach, and it makes kind of a uniqueness to the character. So let's go ahead and continue on. And as you can see, kind of a basic concept of how the class works. And what's really cool about the class is, as he does get his job advancement and keeps continuing on, he does get quite a wide range of really cool and interesting skills as well. He's able to pick up and throw enemies against other enemies, make use of throwing large objects at enemies, and basically what you'd think of someone who can kind of control stuff with his mind or his powers. Let's go ahead and raise our stats real quick, and as you can see here, our base stat is intelligence, so he is a mage type character. Let's go ahead and X out of that real quick. We'll open up our skill window. As you can see, we have quite a few things to level up, which is kind of nice. Not a lot of classes have too many options, and they're just their first job, but this one does offer quite a bit. He has a shield, which is a buff to kind of cancel out some damage, which is really nice. Great for mage type classes because they tend to be a little bit squishier, so having a shield is really helpful. We have our booster to increase our speed, we have kinetic step to give us mobility, we have our main attacks, and we have our psychic force to kind of push enemies back to give us kind of a distance, that way we can keep our range while maintaining good damage on them. So let's go ahead and level up our kinetic crash, because it's kind of our main one right now. And let's go ahead and apply all our points. There we go. It's at 8. Should be dealing a good deal of damage now. And I would like to use... There we go. That's the big skill I wanted to show you guys. So let's go ahead and build up some more points over here. And let's go ahead and utilize another one of the of our bigger skills. Let's go ahead and see if we could do that. There we go. You can see how much damage it does. It really starts to stack up, and it does a ton of damage to enemies. And as you can see, it's quite a useful skill. So it's really, really nice to build up that power as much as you can, and then make full use of those skills. So let's go ahead and keep taking these guys out. They're pretty easy. There we go. There's our little step there to give us the more mobility. Let's go ahead and keep building this up. Now, I think we can go beyond just the yellow bar. There we go. We can start to stack it a second time. So let's go ahead and keep doing that. Let's see how far we can get that. We're going to go ahead and kind of play around with the skills, kind of show you guys how it works generally, and that'll be pretty much it. I mean, we can go so much farther into the class, but it will take a little bit of time and grinding to get further into the class. But I mean, you guys get a general idea of how the class works, which is cool. So let's go ahead and continue on, keep building our bar. Wait for the spawns to go up a little bit, and then we can start really using that other skill. Oh, we can keep stacking it. It just keeps going, even to a third bar. That's awesome. We could really stack that quite high. I can imagine that could become very, very useful for bossing. If you can kind of keep a boss stationary and just stack on the power points, we can get 3 stacks, which seems to be our limit, and then we could really bring down the damage on bosses. And as you can see, right off the bat, it hits 10 times on multiple enemies, which is incredibly strong for a job 1 skill. So, pretty strong class. It's definitely seems to be quite a hard-hitting class, especially right off the bat. And oh, there we go. We got a level, which is pretty cool. So I think we got everything we needed here, so we can go ahead and get out. But generally, you guys get a kind of a general overview of how the class works, and based on the skills he has now, they'll kind of just expand upon it, and each skill will kind of get better, a little bit more flashier, cooler, harder hitting, and so on. But generally, that's the Kinesis class. It's a very cool and interesting class, and if you guys are looking to get back into Maplestory, Reboot Server does offer a lot of appeal to old players, and I've enjoyed it quite a bit. From being a longtime player and not having touched the game in maybe 4 or 5 years, coming back and replaying the Reboot servers, I've had a ton of fun. Everything really feels really familiar, and I like that if you want to play a character, you really got to invest and you've got to be dedicated to the character, and there's just so much accomplishment to getting a character built and, you know, finding good gear for him, because it does take quite a bit of work instead of just buying all the pieces of gear you can for a character in a normal server. But other than that, if you guys have enjoyed this video, don't forget to like and subscribe for more. But until next time, guys, I will talk to you later.